set your politics aside. Do what is right. I'm talking to every elected official right now, whether you are in the states, in the U.S., in the federal, or in the states, or in the local. You set aside your freaking politics and you need to do what is right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? So have we got some good stuff for you today? I hope you guys all enjoyed your Thanksgiving break. I certainly did. I took some time off. I unplugged. I just took a I was off work Thursday and Friday, so basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I just spent time with family, spent time with my girlfriend, and just unplugged for a little while, and I really needed it, and it was a great break. But then I come back to all sorts of funness. We're going to talk about something here today, a couple things here. The first one being a article on Substack called Vote Pattern Analysis. You may have seen this pop up. Ron Paul is actually the one who mentioned this, and I saw it on his Twitter. And I went through and I read this thing, and let me tell you, they keep saying on the news, no baseless claims of widespread voter fraud. Nobody ever said it was widespread. We said it was targeted. We've always said that it was targeted. It was massive, but targeted. Doing widespread, meaning over many states, would be absolutely impractical and nearly insurmountable. But if you're able to focus all your efforts into a certain set of areas where it would be the greatest amount of impact, then you can impact an election. And this article that kind of goes into the nuts and bolts of how this targeted attack took place, or well, not how it took place, but what the results were, and how it shows that there was likely some some interesting details there. So let's just start it from the beginning here. They kind of do a brief overview, and then we'll skip down to the conclusion. There's a few graphics in here that I will probably share along the way, just because they're rather telling. It's probably the best way to put it. All right, so at the very beginning it says, in the early hours of November 4th, 2020, Democratic candidate Joe Biden received several major vote spikes, and they put that in parentheses, or put that in quotations, that substantially and decisively improved his electoral position in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia. Much skepticism and uncertainty surrounds these vote spikes. Critics point to suspicious vote counting practices, extreme differences between the two major candidates' vote counts, and the timing of the vote updates, among other factors, to cast doubt on the legitimacy of some of these spikes. While data analysis cannot on its own demonstrate fraud or systemic issues, it can point us to statistically anomalous cases that invite further scrutiny, meaning you need to get somebody in here to investigate this. The four vote updates that are in question are these. We'll do this part first. Of the 8,954 vote updates used in this particular analysis, these 4 decisive updates were the first, second, fourth, and seventh most anomalous updates in the entire data set. Not only does each one of these vote updates not follow the generally observed pattern, but the anomalous behavior of these updates is particularly extreme. That is, these vote updates are outliers of the outliers.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So not only did they say, yes, there are outliers, but these are like so far beyond the realm of being just a normal anomaly or a outlier within the standard data set. These are outliers, like I said, outliers of outliers. So these are way outside of the realm of normality. And the first one was an update in Michigan listed as of 6:31 a.m. Eastern Time on November 4th. So they said they were shutting down vote counting as of like 11:30, 12, something like that, Central Time. And then at 6:31, they had this massive vote dump. They said they would start back up at 9.
You had one job to do.
Well, at 6:31, they had this massive vote dump, which shows 141,258 votes for Joe Biden and 5,968 votes for Donald Trump. For those of you doing math in your head, that is roughly a 80% swing for Joe Biden, which is
What?
That's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe, especially since you take that into consideration along with the exit polling that was saying that Trump did better in Latin groups, in Latin groups, in the African American, Asian Americans, amongst all these demographics. He did so much better, and yet at the same time he's losing 80-20 in just one vote dump.
Oh, tears. Oh, okay.
That seems kind of screwy to me. And then in Wisconsin, listed at 3:42 a.m., same kind of scenario as it was in Michigan. They stopped counting. They said it sent all the poll workers home, and then all of a sudden they started counting again because he was winning in Michigan by a pretty good amount. And then all of a sudden, vote dump in the middle of the night on November 4th, 2020, which shows 143,379 votes for Joe Biden and 25,163 votes for Donald Trump. That is roughly...
Well, the way I see it, there are 3 possibilities. 1, you stole it. 2, you stole it. Or 3, you stole it!
But all of these votes are coming from the metropolitan urban areas of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia. So Atlanta, Detroit, and oh goodness, I can't remember the cities in Wisconsin. I'm drawing a blank on Wisconsin, but you get the idea. And then they said an update in Georgia listed at 1:34 a.m. Once again, sent everybody home late November 3rd. And then early morning, November 4th, after they said they weren't going to count until 9 a.m. on November 4th, there's a massive vote dump, which shows 136,155 votes for Joe Biden and 29,115 votes for Donald Trump. Basically 107,000 vote margin increase, net increase for Joe Biden. 107,000 Now, the reason why they'll get into the reason why this is anomalous, because I mean, in certain areas of the country, yeah, that would not be surprising at all. But we'll get into that in a sec. And then there was another update at 3:50 a.m. in Michigan, back to Michigan, at 3:50 a.m., which shows 54,497 votes added for Joe Biden and 4,718 votes for Donald Trump, which is a margin of about 50,000 net vote increase in Michigan for Joe Biden. And the other one was, how much was it? Roughly 138,000. So 138 plus 50, that's what? 180, roughly 180,000.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Just in one state, in one county, from different districts, in one vote dump. That seems a bit peculiar because you don't see that anywhere else. Like anywhere else.
Are you ready to go crazy?
I'm already hearing voices.
This report predicts that these vote updates would have looked like what they would have looked like had they followed the same pattern as the vast majority of the 8,950 others. We find that the extents of the respective anomalies here are more than the margin of victory in all three states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia, which collectively represent 42 electoral votes. Now, 42 may not seem like a lot, but if you've already been guaranteed California, New York, all of the New England states, you're already, and not to mention Washington State and Oregon, well, you're already well on your way to 270. I mean, you're running about 213, 220. Well, if you add another 42 electoral votes, you're sitting right on the cusp of 270. And I would honestly say that there was some chicanery taking place in Arizona, and that's another 11. Well, that puts you over 270. Da-da-da! Targeted fraud.
I'm not looking at anything, because all I see are lies and collusion.
Nobody ever was touting or claiming widespread, except for Sidney Powell. And some of the stuff that she's got is rather compelling because she finally released the Kraken. And I tell you what, I'm going to have to do a separate video on that because that's a whole nother batch of clams right there. All right, so we're going to kind of come down here, and I'm going to show you this. This graphic because it's rather telling. In Michigan, if you look right there in the middle, you'll see a nice jump for Joe Biden. Huge jump for Joe Biden. And then there's another one a little earlier on, right there. Yeah, right here. There's another one a little further on that is a smaller vote jump in Michigan, but it kind of set the stage for the larger vote jump that pushed Biden to eventual victory in Michigan. But that massive jump right there is extremely anomalous. And then let's look down here at Wisconsin. So vote totals, this is Trump versus Biden, vote totals in Wisconsin. And you can see down bottom, time, month, date, and the hour. So starting at the 3rd at 8 p.m. And then 2 hours later, and then this is 11:04. So the 4th of November at midnight. And then just before 4 o'clock, massive massive jump where all of a sudden he jumps from way behind to barely ahead. Just barely ahead. Massive jump in one vote dump.
These matches say you're lying.
To say the least, it's extremely peculiar. So they go deep into the nitty gritty, and I'm not going to bore you guys with that. And they have some more spot graphs and bar graphs and things like that, just showing in different ways that how the data just does not line up at all with any of the other groups.
You sit on a throne of lies.
This report studies 8,954 individual updates to the vote totals in all 50 states and finds that 4 individual updates, 2 of which were widely noticed on the internet, including by the president, are profoundly anomalous. They deviate from a pattern which is otherwise found in the vast majority of the remaining 8,950 vote updates. The findings presented by this report suggest that 4 vote count updates, which collectively were decisive in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia, and thus decisive of a critical 42 electoral college votes, are especially anomalous and merit further investigation. In particular, the finding that the broader data follows general patterns and our ability to measure just how much any individual vote update does or doesn't follow this pattern allows us to make concrete claims about both how extreme any given vote update is and about what any particular vote update might have looked like had it been less extreme on one axis or another. So basically they're saying, we know what it's supposed to look like, and this ain't it. In these 4 particular circumstances, in these 4 particular occurrences, it does not look that way.
Hello. Listen, I don't know if this is anything, but what I just saw looked really suspicious. Definitely out of the ordinary.
We further find that if these updates were only more extreme than 99% of all updates nationally in terms of their deviation from this generally observed pattern, that holding all else equal, Joe Biden may very well have lost the states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia. They're saying that if these were even in the 1 percentile, they were only more extreme than 99%, so they were in the 1 percentile of all updates nationally in terms of their deviation. Joe Biden may very well have lost these 3 states, and that he would have 42 fewer electoral votes, putting Biden below the number required to win the presidency. Either way, it is indisputable that his margin of victory in these 3 states relies on 4 most anomalous vote updates identified by the metric developed in this report. It is our belief that the extraordinarily anomalous nature of the studied vote updates here, combined with the staggering political implications, demands immediate and thorough investigation. So, we'll see what happens, but there was definitely some nefarious things taking place, and we'll see if they are addressed. I pray to God that they are, because we cannot survive as a nation if this kind of stuff is going on and it is not addressed. I want to be very clear on that. We cannot let this slide, because we will not have a country anymore. We will literally be a banana republic. You hear people say that all the time. Oh, if we let this happen, we'll be a banana. We will be. It's not hypothetical anymore. It's not metaphorical anymore. It will be literal. If this is not fixed, if this is not taken care of, if this is not addressed, we will not be a republic anymore. We will be a cabal, a banana republic, a bureaucratic banana republic. There's no hypothetical anymore. There's no metaphorical anymore. This needs to be addressed. If it is not addressed, we fail as a country. And all the people that are up at the top stuff their pockets with money, all while puppeting whatever they're told to say, just so they can stay in power. If this is not addressed, if it is not investigated fully, set your politics aside, do what is right. I'm talking to every elected official right now, whether you are in the states, in the U.S., in the federal, or in the states, or in the local. You set aside your freaking politics and you need to do what is right, regardless of how it comes across, regardless of your election next year. You have to do what is right. What is morally correct, what is morally accurate, what is morally sound should not come second fiddle to what is politically expedient. Stop worrying about your re-election and fix it. I guarantee you, if you fix it, people will love you more. You may be painted as a pariah in social circles and in political circles, but guess what? So was Trump. And then he laughed all the way into the White House. And they tried to tear him down for 4 years. And he was called the Teflon Don because nothing stuck. Stand up for what is right. You will be rewarded because people will notice. That's the thought for the day. You guys have a great night.